92% of households that start the year with Peloton are still active a year later.
All because of a fancy bike?
It's not just a bike. Peloton makes treadmills too.
All treadmills are the same.
Our treadmills can adjust speed and incline automatically, so you never break your stride. Whether you're squeezing in a power walk or training for a marathon, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. 92% stick with it. So can you. Try the Peloton Tread risk-free with the 30-day home trial. New members only. Not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Howdy, y'all. This is Earth 894, a Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast, or a Marvel podcast, whichever one you want to choose for SEO purposes, if you know what that means. Each week, we dive into the multiverse that is Marvel and bring you through what's going on through the quantum realm. So, is there a new movie that's coming out that it's not a big deal, but I guess there's a book that is a bit of a big deal. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay, because we're going to probably talk a little bit about that stuff as we go, because today's agenda is we're all doing a bit of a preview and predictions, so you know where this is going, for Marvel Studios' next installment in Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I'm excited for it. We're going to have a great discussion tonight. And so we have a full group of awesome people with one person who's actually been referenced many, many times, but they're going to be making their first debut on Earth 894. So before we get to that, my co-host that I love and adore, and you know what? He's a man who inspired me to want to get a fanny pack because he knows how to rock it, stock it, and really make it look incredible. Like his favorite movie, Incredible Hulk. Is it his favorite movie? I don't know. It's Louis Tonarini.
Yeah, I'm here. We're going to do this.
I haven't talked to you in a while.
Oh, it's been
a while.
It's been at least a week. We did top 5 Ant-Man stuffs.
Well, if you predicted that I was going to delay episodes in the second year or third year now of this podcast, you're right. And someone who is very often right with their predictions, our favorite Georgian, all the way from the Great Mountains, who's got a cool bear he likes to hang out with, and he really knows how to predict it all. It's Mr. Marvel from Mr. Marvel Minutes himself, or as we like to call him, Brian. How's it going?
Good, man. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing great. Now that you guys are here, it's going to be a grand old time.
So much better.
When was the last time we had you on for an actual episode and not like a live stream or anything? I'm trying to remember. Was it
Black Panther?
Just do one?
Yeah.
I feel like we just did one.
We had a live stream, but you weren't even on the live stream.
You're in the chat, I think.
Yeah, you were in the chat.
In the chat.
We did the.
So
I
was there.
You know what it was?
Wakanda
It was your
Forever.
Civil War.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I had you on my show.
That's what it was.
And Louis, you weren't there. When's Mr. Marvel coming back?
The last episode I saw was I'm back, and then you posted that on Halloween. It's February,
and I'm back.
Touche. Well, we're glad you're back, and you brought with you a very, very exciting guest. It's Earth 894, and so we have seen her many times on socials and tagging and everything like that. And you may see her just having an awesome time at one of the Disney theme parks. She goes by the handle AshleysSpookyCastle. And so she is making her first appearance on the episode tonight. So Ashley, welcome to Earth 894 officially.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. So before we dive into all the fun tonight, let's do a quick check. Who is your favorite character?
Oh, I didn't realize I needed to be prepared to answer questions off the spot or on the spot. I think I'm gonna go with Loki as my favorite character, since that's who I named my first dog after.
Ooh.
I'm gonna ride with Loki.
Good choice. Let's see. Favorite movie from the MCU or just any Marvel movie.
Okay. Oh man. I think I'm gonna go with Ragnarok. I was talking to Louie about this the
It's
other
the
day
best
of like,
one.
my top 5 movies.
The
I
best
know, it's so
one.
good. So good.
Nice.
It's all around good movie.
Awesome. And what are you most excited for this coming year?
I'm excited for Loki season 2, since it's kind of the only Marvel show we're getting a second season of. I'm actually really excited for this movie because I like the Ant-Man movies. I think they're very underrated. I think they're very funny. And I think that's kind of it. I think some of the TV shows I'm excited about, but some of them have kind of been recently. What is that light?
It's a ghost light.
Yeah.
The ghost light.
Spooky. It's spooky.
Awesome. Well, cool. Always good to have a little bit of a quick check just to get an idea of who we're dealing with, but really just to get an idea.
Yeah, I was
of
gonna
what
say,
you like.
you weren't about to kick me out.
No, it's okay. Anyone who loves Thor: The Dark World as their favorite movie, they're the ones we question. They're the Gemini of equivalent. If you're thinking in like horoscope stuff, I don't know, not really. If you love Thor: The Dark World, that's your number one movie. Yeah. We are. Oh my god.
Well, Brian's not. Whatever. He's the other thing. But
the other thing.
Me and Louie. I don't know. Whatever comes after.
The strongest Avenger is what I am.
There you go. There you go.
Nice. Yes, Leos rule it all. And so what rules is just kind of catching up like we have a little bit off air, but to do it more formally, this is where we like to kind of just break the ice a little bit, talk about what's been marvelous in our day-to-day since we last spoke and recorded or hung out or whatever, or, posted your episode saying you're back. But maybe you got a new comic book. Maybe you got a new Funko Pop. Or maybe you got some cool merch. So let's kick it off officially with MCU for you. Who sings that song? Someone once asked me, and I said, what are you talking about? So, Louie, what has been MCU for you?
You said new Funko Pops, and I got this guy.
You got Namor.
Right? Cool.
Does that one actually glow in the dark or light up or anything?
No, but if you hit the light on the water, it kind of shines. Pretty cool looking. Also,
nice, man.
Yeah. Sorry for everyone listening to this audio podcast. I got this one I've wanted for a long time, and it came available on Funko.com. The Wanda with the cool little swooshy thing on the bottom. Okay, so I work with a guy. I've talked about him a lot on the show, and he drives me crazy. He wants like them to take a comic book and then put that on the screen. Do not change anything. Have it be exactly what it is on the screen. And he was getting upset with me the other day, and it stuck with me. He said to me, now what would you do? No, he said, would you be okay if you were watching a Thor movie and Thor was black? And I said, sure, I'd be fine with it. Like if Idris Elba was Thor, I think that would be badass. No, you're a liar because Thor isn't black. You can't just make him black. I said, Thor is a mythological dude, man. Like he's not anything. He can be black. He can be fucking green. I don't give a shit. And he was like, you're a liar. Deep down in your soul, Thor has to be Thor. And I'm just like, yeah, I like Chris Hemsworth as Thor, but like if he never had been Thor, I wouldn't have a Thor in my head of who needed to be him. And if you put fucking Michael B. Jordan as Thor, I think he'd be badass. If like in God of War game, he's a big fat guy. I would love a big fat guy. And I know he was fat in Endgame, but that was different.
Michael B. Thornton.
There it is. There it is.
Back to you, Lou.
Oh, there it was. Other than that drove me crazy. I do admit. And then I told him about the new Spider-Man video game and how Harry Osborn's going to be Venom. And he thought I was talking about the next movie, and he was so upset until he figured out I was talking about a video game that he wasn't going to play. But he was like, Harry becomes the Hobgoblin. And I wasn't going to correct him and be like, no, he doesn't. But alas, I was just like, whatever, but the video game's going to be fucking sick. And you're going to be able to play as both Spider-Men trying to fight off Harry Osborn. And Norman was standing there all green at the end. We're going to get Green Goblin too? Let's fucking go. And he was not happy about it. I've started a collection on my wall right there. You can't see it, but it's the Marvel comic cover Funko Pops. And I have the She-Hulk and Shuri now. I got both of those through this week. And now it's almost an obsession. And I'm missing, there's a Walmart exclusive Spider-Man and a Walmart exclusive Thor. And when you look them up on whatever, they run about $45 because you can't find them. And I don't want to pay that much because I'm cheap. But if you go to walmart.com, the Spider-Man is on sale for $19.88. And I've looked every day for the last 4 or 5 days because it just says check availability in stores near you. Then you click on it and no stores have it. Then you just type in random numbers to get different zip codes. And no stores have this thing. Why is it on sale? If nobody has it, it's driving me insane. Anyways, I need it. I want it. Give it to me. That's all I have to say.
Did you see they have another exclusive? It's coming to Target soon for their Target
Hawkeye and Wolverine. Oh, the Black Spider-Man.
No, yeah, the symbiote. See that one?
Yeah, it's not out yet, but I'm gonna get it.
Well, I hope you do, Louis, because you have a really cool collection going so far. And I want you to keep getting that Spidey sense tingling so you can actually get all the stuff you're hunting down. But awesome, man. Toss it over to you, Brian. What has been MCU for you, my dude?
Oh, man, I have just been addicted to Marvel Snap. And it is nuts. So I appreciate you getting me on the bandwagon with that.
What's your collector level at now?
I am 1795.
Oh, boy, you beat me.
Ooh.
I think I'm only at 1400.
Oh, man, get on up there. But it's been a lot of fun. I actually took one of your discard decks and modified it a little bit. And I literally have not lost but maybe 4 games in this new season, which only came out Monday.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, that's a new one of the. It's kind of cool. It's all Ant-Man, Quantumania kind of theme.
Into
stuff.
The quantum realm.
Yeah. Nice, man. I one of my favorite parts of the game is literally just giving my decks really stupid names. For instance, my discard one is called Hella Discards because it's all about Hella. Then I have another one called that I'm using Death as a prime card. So I named it Death to Decaf. And then I have an ongoing deck where you have to use Spectrum. So I called it Spectrum Patronum. And then I also have a move deck that I titled Move Along for all the Star Wars fans. And then finally, my proudest one and also the dumbest one I've come up with using the Zabu card. I named the deck Honey Zabubu.
That's awesome. I'm living off the discard delight.
Discard delight. I like that. We need to do since Snap has released their way to battle with friends. I haven't done it yet. Have you tried it yet with anyone?
I tried, and the person I was going to play with had already jumped off or was already in a game. So it's one of those, you can only share that code when you are ready to play. Yeah,
I really wish they had a way you could just add friends and then just see when they're online and do it like how normal games do it. Maybe it's just beta. I don't know, but we'll have a little Snap battle. We'll have to do Snap, Crackle, Pop, like a drop it like it's hot. I'm just waiting for Louis to go. Well, anyways, Ashley, what has been MCU for you?
So when I was just at Disney, obviously, and there is this new Guardians of the Galaxy ride in Epcot, which is super badass. Highly recommend riding it if you get to go. And I was super fortunate to be able to ride it twice. And if you didn't know, they have 6 different songs that you can get on the ride. And so far, I rode it in September last year when I went with my mom, but I got 2 new songs that I haven't had before. So that was my little MCU-ness, since the Florida parks don't have a lot of Marvel stuff with Universal rights of all the crap that goes on.
Right.
On the east side. So that was the closest like MCU moment I could get while being at Disney in Florida recently.
So in total, you went on twice, and then you've also gone on it in September, you said?
Mm-hmm. So I've ridden the ride 3 times now. So they have September, Disco Inferno, Conga, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, I Ran, and One Way or Another are the 6 different songs you can get, and it's totally random. So it's really fun. People like to count. And then I had Conga and Everybody Wants to Rule the World this past time, and then in September I had One Way or Another. So it's a lot of fun. I'm excited for Brian to try it out in October of this year.
Oh, that's cool. So what would you say out of those 3 songs you've experienced so far? Which one made the best experience?
I think Conga, the way you ride, like, I don't want to like spoil it for Brian, but with Conga, it makes the ride feel like you're going faster. So I really enjoyed that because I have the need for speed. But it's really, really cool. It's there. The storyline though, on the ride has like nothing to do with like what goes on in the MCU. So it's a little like weird in that, but it's still really cool.
Nice. Yeah, it looks really cool.
It's really awesome, like the technology that goes into it. But Drax talks about cake, which is really funny at the beginning. And then Terry Crews makes an appearance. But it's really funny when he talks about cake.
Nice. I watched I like to live vicariously through like ride POV videos and stuff since college and everything. Yeah, and so I've seen them all, but I know that definitely doesn't pay, like it doesn't live up to the actual real in-person experience of doing it. Like, doesn't do it justice. So I don't feel like it's been spoiled for me yet until I'm actually there. I'm just like screaming. I'm like, ah, and having a great time.
Yeah, I was really good about not watching any spoilers before I wrote it. So I knew like a couple little things that happened, but it was nice to have that moment of like, oh my God, this is cool and new, because I've been so many times. I don't have that a lot anymore. So I was glad to avoid that.
Awesome.
I'm trying to do the same for Tron.
Oh, yeah. They've been working on that for years, right? In Orlando?
They've been working on that since like 2017. Yeah. Shit better be worth it.
Yeah, it looks so cool. It looks so cool. I've still yet to ever watch Tron, but maybe I will soon.
I couldn't tell you the last time I watched the movie.
Well, awesome, guys. Love all the MCU for you. To cap it off, my own little experience. I too have been playing a lot of Marvel Snap, just trying to grind. And now I finally got Spider-Man as a card in my shop. So I pinned it. So now I'll play for the next 2.5 months. Hopefully I get enough collector's tokens so I can unlock the damn Friendly Neighborhood Menace. But it's a good time.
Boom. You looking for this?
This whole episode, we're going to be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. We are talking about the movie that is kicking off Phase 5. It's gotten some really great reviews already because the premieres just kicked off across the globe just this past week. And so now we're in that dangerous time where there's a lot of spoilers. It's going to get a little whack. So we're going to do our damnedest to not get spoiled. We know Louis has done a really good job so far of not watching any trailers for the most part. So we will keep that in mind as we go ahead, but do not count on us trying to actually say any spoilers other than what has just been shared publicly. So that way everyone is safe. But before we do that, I need to do something for the legal terms, and legal not being actually legal, just as a point of reference in case. Mr. Marvel, we have given him a lot of stuff off air for this, poked fun at him, because we found out he had seen a certain movie before we did some predictions. So, to make sure we are in the clear this time, totally fine, and we're laughing about it because it's hilarious. Mr. Marvel, please put a hand on your heart or a comic book if you have one in front of you, and repeat after me. I, Mr. Marvel, solemnly swear I have not seen the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania before recording this episode. And let it be known that if I have that Devin and Louie get full rights to my smoking machine. Is that what it's called? No, it's a smoker. That's what I meant to say. A smoker.
Oh, the Traeger.
The Traeger. There it is. Yes. The Traeger. That's
I will
it.
vouch for Brian that he has not seen the movie.
I thought we were gonna have a
Alrighty.
rave with a smoking machine. I was excited.
I know. I was like, wait, what did he buy now?
Like, God damn it.
See, Devin,
That was fun.
the joke's on you. He hasn't seen it before recording, but because it's on right in front of him, he's just watching it as we record.
Oh shit! Is that Wolverine?
Oh no! Oh! Why would you do this to me?
You played
No,
yourself.
it's Howard the Duck.
Oh. Howard the Duck
Oh
watch.
man, I am looking forward to finding out, because I'm sure you're going to figure out a way, Brian, to incorporate Howard the Duck in your prediction for today. So I'm looking forward to seeing how you do it. Also, that was a little fun, totally on the fly. Just thought we'd do a little poke fun of Brian. We love you to death, or else we wouldn't do something like that. But that was what my MCU for you was. I watched Wakanda Forever because it's streaming on Disney Plus. That's what it was. Good times. Anyways, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. You know, Ashley, you put it very well, saying at the beginning of the episode that you feel like the Ant-Man movies are kind of underrated and stuff like that. And I totally agree, because Louis used to give me kind of some like, hey man, you got to watch the movies. They're good. Paul Rudd, he's funny. Fucking Derek or Baskin Robbins. And he's right. Watched a lot of Ant-Man lately, and they are funny. And that's one of the things Louis and I talked about in a prior episode, and I'm kind of curious to get everyone's kind of frame of reference on this, or thoughts and opinions. Obviously, Ant-Man and then Ant-Man and the Wasp were kind of like Peyton Reed described them, the director, as kind of being palate cleansers for the MCU, because they're always like at the end of the phases and stuff like that. But this movie definitely is not the case. It's kicking off phase 5. It looks pretty damn intense. We got King the motherfucking Conqueror and some other stuff going on. So do you guys think we're still going to get that kind of like humor tone, or like what makes Ant-Man like full of character? Do you think we're going to still get that in this movie? Or do you think it's going to be completely just totally different? Maybe Brian, what do you think?
I mean, it's Paul Rudd. You can't have a Paul Rudd movie without that humor, without that nostalgia. I mean, it's going to be hilarious from start, middle to finish.
Nice, man. I totally agree. But I still am a little nervous. But Ashley, what do you think?
I think we're going to get some humor in it, but I don't think it's going to be as much as the first two, because I feel like there's going to be like some serious shit that he's going through. And he's probably going to be like, okay, I got some serious shit, but like, let me make a little funny comment here to like soften the blow about what's about to happen. But I think it's not going to be as like loosey-goosey as the other two, because I feel like it's really going to set the stage for like what's going to happen in the next two phases.
Oh, in the next two phases. Yeah, that's a good point. Louis, do you still kind of feel the same too? Feel like it's, are you a little worried that it might not have its like humorous charm?
You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried that Thor: Love and Thunder was too many jokes, and now they're going to try and cut the jokes out of Ant-Man to make it not a big fucking joke fest to please all these fucking people that are like, too many punchlines, too many jokes. Now they're going to ruin Ant-Man. That's what I think. I actually don't think they're going to ruin Ant-Man, but I think they're going to try and tone it down a lot with his comedicness.
Yeah, that's an interesting point though, because sometimes we've seen that trying to. Well, I mean, kind of overall for Phase 4, right? A lot of criticism, just like, what the heck is this? What the heck is that? And a lot of She-Hulk stuff too. People are giving criticisms about, and there was all little like reports saying that Marvel is seriously considering like how they're doing Phase 5 and Phase 6 more because of Phase 4's like jokiness and just kind of random stuff. So you kind of bring up a good point, Louis, that I didn't really think about or consider. How much does movies that are like that affect the other ones? But I just can't see this movie not being at least a little bit funny, like you were saying, Ashley. Like, you know, still just sprinkle it in a little bit. Give us Paul Rudd being Paul Rudd. I think a lot of that's going to happen in the beginning of the movie before we really get into the thick of the plot and all that. But I worry, could that be like, then it's like all the funny stuff in yada yada's beginning, then it's all just like full on hit the highway, full charge ahead, and then we'll see. I don't know, but I'm excited. Now, you guys, are you going to be seeing the movie opening night, or did you have to kind of play around with tickets kind of thing, or what's your plan for seeing it?
I think we're seeing it Saturday. We live in the middle of nowhere now, so it's very difficult to like get out and go see a movie. We're very lame.
Yeah. Oh man, and well, I forgot. Did you guys? What's your theater chain of choice that you usually like to go to?
AMC, Regal. I think we're seeing this
Yeah.
one at a Regal.
Yeah, I think so too. We used to go see everything at AMC, and then a new Regal opened up near us, and that's where we were going for a while. But AMC has the better like popcorn buckets and all that jazz.
True. Oh, you bring up a good point. I didn't see anything about popcorn buckets for this movie.
We just got our Thor: Love and Thunder popcorn bucket.
Let's go.
You just got it?
We
just got
literally
it.
just got it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
We pre-ordered that.
Yep.
Can that even be considered a pre-order if you get it like almost 7 months after the
Right.
movie came out?
No, said someone who's never pre-ordered a Funko Pop in his life, I guess.
Oh my God. Target's the worst with pre-ordering Funko Pops. I've had so many get canceled. It's awful.
I always hear that, even like not even the Funkos, but just like toys in general from Target. How they're like, hey, I got this email that went to my spam saying, hey, do you want this thing you ordered still? Click yes within the next 2 minutes, or we're just canceling it. It's like, what the hell? What kind of deal is that? That sucks. Well, maybe it's a good thing that you guys are not seeing an AMC, given all the nonsense I'm not going to get on my soapbox about with all their, hey, guess what? We're going to raise prices of premium seats. You like to sit in the middle or relatively in the side of the middle? We're going to make you pay more for it.
It's like being on an airplane.
Yeah. An airplane versus a fucking movie screen. Like, I don't know. I'm not here for it, but that's not what we're here for. So aside from that, there's a lot of characters being introduced to in this movie. But one of them is actually, Cassie Lang. She's older now, and she's also being recast for whatever reason. Just they wanted someone more acting chops, maybe. Neither here or there. But Cassie Lang, how do we feel we're going to actually see her character involved in this movie? Do we think she's going to be in it for the long haul, or maybe just part of it? What do you think? Maybe Louis, what are you feeling so far?
I'm sure she'll be in most of the movie, at least. She probably, they're trying to replace all the Avengers or all the heroes we have with younger versions, and she's going to be the younger Ant-Man to go with the younger Hulk and the younger Iron Man and the younger fucking all of them. Anyways, Cassie was a big deal in both of the Ant-Man movies. She wasn't like a super in their main character, but everything he does is for her. And now that she's older, and from what we could tell, is her mom and Paxton still around? I don't even I guess after Endgame they probably came back, but excuse me, we haven't seen them, or we haven't seen any of these characters since Endgame. So it seems like she's gonna be right there with him and in the thick of it in the quantum realm, hanging out with all those little dudes.
And it is kind of funny too, just like this movie looks big and grand in scale, right? But I mean, in reality, it's literally like teeny tiny
like on the tip of the pin.
But watch out, AMC is going to make you pay more for that. Ms. Marvel, what do you think about this? Are you excited to see Cassie Lang join the team and act more towards that Young Avengers roster?
I mean, we knew it was going to eventually happen. I'm not super stoked about her character, but I mean, she's going to play a pivotal role in this movie. I mean, Darren Cross went after her. Ghost almost went after her. So, I mean, what's it to say that Kang isn't going to go after her? And she's the reason that they go into the quantum realm.
What I was going to say, do you know much about her character at all from the comics at all? Or
I don't, because she's another one of those kind of newer characters.
Oh, gotcha. Interesting. Because I don't even really know. I've heard her like comic book hero, alternate name said, but it hasn't like actually stuck with me. So I'm curious if we'll actually get her name mentioned. Like, it's going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp and blah, 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 blah for the next movie or something like that. Or series, who knows?
Marvel never uses their names, though. I mean, in the titles they do, but like nobody's ever called her, hey, Black Widow, come on over here and we're going to go, like I think Spider-Man was the first person to say Captain Marvel in Far From Home, second one.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody ever called her Captain Marvel, or what's the other? There's a few of them like that where they just don't say Hawkeye. Nobody ever calls it. I think Thor or Coulson or somebody calls him the Hawk, but nobody's like, hey, Hawkeye. until Kate Bishop's like, "You're Hawkeye," loses her damn mind. While I'm in the middle of this rant, I do want to say with Cassie, she was so fun in the first two movies as a little girl. Anyway, it just comes back to like he gives her the birthday present, and it's like this horrifying little bunny thing, and she goes, "It's so ugly, I love it. Can I go show my friends?" And in the second movie, she gives him a trophy for world's greatest grandma and everything like that. And I hope they don't change her. I hope they don't like make her, obviously she's grown up, but I hope she's still a little fun and funny and stuff like that.
That's a good point, man. Yeah, she is pretty funny. I forgot about the trophy, and now I totally forgot you also had that on your phone too as a little pop socket, because I think you've had that on your phone for a long time, right?
It's been a little bit. I got a new phone case, and I put our stickers on there, and I had to come up with a fun pop socket to throw on there, and I was like, it doesn't have to be Marvel related, and I was trying to think of other ones, and I ordered a Peacemaker one, and then it never showed up, and I said, fuck it, and I got the world's greatest grandma on there, because people would be like, man, what do you have that for? And I'm like, yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Watch that shit.
I didn't even get it. You're like, don't you get it? I was like, what? The world's greatest grandma? What the fuck are you talking about? And I feel like a dum-dum.
That's where he kept the suit, was in the trophy.
True. Awesome, man. So with that being said, we obviously are getting King the Conqueror. We're getting what's his face? Jonathan Majors back is now the second version of not He Who Remains. He has confirmed this is not the same character, which is cool. We're actually getting like a villain who's a different version of a villain. You know, it's a dude playing another dude is another dude, if you get the drift. But I'm really stoked for it. Ashley, how are you, like, do you have, you said Loki is your favorite character. Do you like more of the villains and stuff like that too? Or do you feel like it just kind of varies, kind of on the chaotic side? Because I think Loki's pretty damn cool too. But what do you feel about that?
So I'm definitely more of like somebody that likes the villains in any kind of movie. Yes, I love the sticker. I think that's why I also like Ragnarok too, is I really like Hela. I was actually supposed to be Hela for Halloween a few years ago, and my costume never showed up, but that was going to be a whole vibe. I think Kang's going to be a really good villain, and I feel like Thanos was so like beaten into our brains for so long of all these like little snippets, and it's like, oh, when are we going to fucking get him? And now I feel like we're getting like our next wave of like a really badass villain, but I just feel like he's going to be like, and don't take this too literally, but like, he kind of reminds me of Zemo, where like he's just going to be very like, he's going to like fuck up the Avengers, but he's going to be able to do it so like mentally, which I think is going to be such a different way from just this big ass like purple grimace guy coming and like beating everybody's ass. So I'm excited. Although I don't want like anything bad to happen to Ant-Man, but I feel like it's just going to be a really good like I'm a badass villain movie.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah, it really is like unprecedented too, because we had that such a long buildup for Thanos, and now we're actually like, hey, here's your big bad right away, and we'll see what happens. Because like, you can't, I don't know. I'm kind of curious what you guys think. We see character deaths get very prominent the further you go in like stories and franchises, and that's usually how they like get rid of the old to bring in the new. I mean, do any of you guys think we're going to get a major death or deaths in this movie? And who'd you put your money on? Who do you have?
I've noticed a trend that in every third movie somebody dies. I think I saw like a thing on TikTok where it pointed that out. I don't think we're gonna lose Ant-Man, because I feel like Marvel still needs a few like big players to still like remain in the MCU for a little while longer, since so many have left. I could see Hope dying potentially. Like since we lost May in No Way Home. I could also see Cassie dying. Like for some like weird kind of thing. Because I know she has a good character arc in the comics and I don't know too much about it. But I feel like there could like throw something in there to like throw us off a little bit. But then depending on how much of a character development they give her in the movie. But something I want to add for what we just talked about with like how we got Thanos for so long. I think that's why people don't like Phase 4, because everything was so quick and immediate. Where with 1 through 3, it was like very long and drawn out, and it like took years and years and years to get to Infinity War and Endgame. Or now it's like, okay, you had a movie and a TV show, and here's what's happening, and this storyline is over, and we're moving on. We're moving to the next thing.
I mean, you had to introduce a lot of people too. I mean, you can't just expect us to be like, all right, here's one and done and go.
Exactly.
Yeah. Louis, I'm curious to hear what you think, because you're making some faces about like Hope and Cassie. And I have an interesting thing I heard about Cassie. I'll bring up in a minute, but what do you think, Louis?
Hank Pym.
Yeah.
That's
I could see that.
I don't like the fact that someone's got to die in every movie that's come out in the last fucking 10 years. It's kind of annoying, but when she said in the third movie, now I'm going through all the third movies trying to figure out who died in each movie. Like, I'm like, who died in Civil War? And I don't know. I don't know who died in
the Avengers.
But
yeah,
like who died in
Avengers
Iron Man
died.
3? Aldrich Killian? Does he count? That guy sucked.
Iron Man kind of died.
So that's what the faces were. But as far as killing Cassie, though, I feel like there's a 0% chance that Cassie dies. Hope, I would give that about a 10% chance. But my money's on Hank Pym, because he's like this big important guy, and if he dies and there's no more Pym particles, what are we gonna do? And yada yada yada. But I feel like in this movie he's gonna try and like hand down his knowledge and all that good stuff, and he will meet his demise by probably another character who might be a spoiler, so I don't know if I want to say it, but I'm going to anyways. So here it comes. MODOK. I think MODOK's probably gonna kill his ass. So yeah.
MODOK killing him. Ooh.
We're gonna get into other characters later. If they kill the character that I'm thinking of, that you know who I'm thinking of, they kill him, this movie gets an automatic down 1 star from me. And if he's not in it, automatic down 1 star for me again. You guys will know who I'm talking about eventually.
What if I'm a listener and I don't know who you're talking about, Lou?
Can you help me? I'm talking about Luis. The rock star from the first 2 movies. He was so great and funny and awesome, and I feel like they're just not going to include him. It's going to make me so sad, and if he dies, I'm going to be super duper upset, because how are you going to kill off just a super side character like that? He's not part of the story, but now he's dead. Like, whoa. Yeah, I feel like if they kill him, it's bad. If he's not in it at all, it's worse. So
I mean, it kind of goes back to like the humor of it. I mean, Luis is really funny. Do you take him out just because you feel like it didn't fit? Or, I mean, we don't know. And I keep scrolling through credits and stuff on IMDb, but, sometimes it's not as factually evident if it's actually real or not. So I don't know. But Brian, who do you think might kick the bucket in the quantum realm?
I kind of like where Louis is going with that with Hank Pym, knowing who MODOK is, and his hatred of Hank Pym, but also his hatred of Scott Lang. So it's kind of up in the air. Overall, I don't think any of our main characters are going to die in this movie.
That kind of ties into my theory here a little bit. I want to say I heard this elsewhere, so I don't want to take credit for it. But, it kind of, we're all in the realm of now variants are everywhere, right? From Spider-Man to Loki's to everything. I mean, it's part of the multiverse saga. So does that open up the opportunity to do a type of kind of cop-out, per se? Like Cassie Lang, they recast the actress that we saw from Endgame when you see Cassie, and clearly not the same person. Well, there's theories going around. Well, what if the reason for it is actually not because of just we wanted someone different, but we actually are killing off a variant of Cassie, and maybe that actress is coming back, and it's a little secret. Or like, do they kill off Ant-Man, but it's a variant? Because I feel like if there's no way Kang is completely eradicated in this movie, right? Without being like straight up, because what's the point, right? So if they kill Kang, it's a variant. We know there's going to be more. We're going to see this guy all the time. He's a through line through this all. It makes sense if you kill a variant, maybe they kill some of our variants. But does that take away from like the significance of a character then? Because then you can just kill off who's convenient for you instead of really making it like pack a punch to the gut, emotionally. That's the theory I've been kind of hearing with the whole Cassie is what kind of spurred the idea. And I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, I'm not too sure. Cause like we saw like glorious Loki, whatever, die, get fucking eaten by a cloud in the Loki series. And I felt that, man. I felt that. So I can't imagine if like, what if we actually got like Ant-Man variants? But Louis is giving me some weird, he's giving me some weird looks. What is going through your mind, Lou? It's because I said he got eaten by a cloud.
Did you say glorious Loki? Where did you come up with glorious? That was Loki classic or classic Loki or
classic Loki. That's why.
There was boastful Loki. He was the black guy with the custom Mjolnir, but
because he goes glorious purpose and then he dies. So that's why I call him glorious Loki.
I guess, but no, that was Loki classic Loki.
Thank you.
But
he has him.
As you were saying, I feel like the whole variance thing, huge cop out, right? Just kill a guy and be like, but it wasn't our guy, and sweep in somebody else. And it's like, you get the fuck out of here. And Devin, you're going to hate me, but it's the same thing with the Skrulls. It's like, get over it, man. Everyone's a Skrull. This guy's a Skrull, and I'm a Skrull, and you're a Skrull. We're all Skrulls. Just stop. Just stop with the damn Skrulls. But alas, they're here. Something's going to happen. Somebody that we've known forever is going to be a Skrull. It's probably the power broker, but still freaking annoying because, like, come on. Shapeshifters and multiple people. The only reason the variants worked so well in Spider-Man is because it was freaking Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire. If you brought in Joe Schmo and fucking Dick Hardwood over there,
Schmo Beach McGuire,
everybody be like, oh, fucking stupid. Or all the Lokis was cool because they were like different versions of Loki that you've known, and that was cool or whatever. Doctor Strange, the variants doesn't make any sense, man. Doctor Strange, all of his variants look the same. They were all Benedict Cumberbatch. And then Spider-Man had a bunch of different ones. Loki had a bunch of different ones. All the Christine Palmers were the same. All of the freaking Baron Mordos were the same. Like, stop with the variants. It's annoying. I mean, obviously they're not going to stop with the variants because it's such a big deal with the multiverse, but like, Kang looks the same as He Who Remains. I mean, different, but it's the same face. It's still Jonathan Majors, who is incredible. Don't get me wrong, but I would just hate it for like them to kill somebody. Be like, no, that was my daughter. And then it's like, but wait, here is your actual daughter. That was somebody else's different Scott Lang's daughter. And he's like, oh, fuck her then. And then they're just like skipping through a field or something. Wouldn't it be nice? How they do. So yeah, I don't love the whole variance thing for cop-out purposes, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of like 17 Jonathan Majors all trying to fuck somebody up, a bunch of different Kangs or something. The only time I think you could have killed a variant and had it been like impactful was when Green Goblin like stabs Tobey Maguire or whatever he does. That would have been fucking heartbreaking, but that's because that's Spider-Man. That's our like from when we were all kids, except for Brian over there. That was our Spider-Man. Like, so as far as a variant of Cassie Lang, who you don't know who she is or anything, who cares?
Who cares? Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where all the points are made up and the points don't matter. Or whatever. But you bring up a good point though, because this is the other side of the coin. Will we see another or multiple Kang variants in this movie? Will we see more? Is his name going to be Seymour? Seymour Kang.
All right, everybody. It's been a good run. It's been a good run here on Earth 894. We've had a hell of a go here. Thank you for following us, and have a good life. Goodbye.
Have a good life. Oh man. But yeah, anyways, will we see other Kang in this movie? Kangs? Will we see the Kang?
Kangies?
So it's on the seagull. Kang.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Don't think so.
No, I think if you're going to establish Kang the Conqueror, you should establish one and then bring in the other ones for like the Kang Dynasty or Thunderbolts or fucking Captain America. Who knows? But just establish the one and have him be awesome. And then don't bring in like 3-4 other ones who you don't like. Like I said, the only reason it worked so well with Spider-Man is because we knew those guys. If you just bring in a bunch of Kangs, you're like, well, this is Earth 894 Kang. This is Earth 616 Kang. They're all kind of similar, but a little bit different, and they don't matter. The points are made up, like you said. So give me one Kang for this movie. And then maybe if you want, just give me one throughout the whole movie. And then at the end, you bring in the 10 other ones, and it doesn't even fucking matter who they are. But you're just like, oh shit, look at all those Kangs. Bang. Whatever. I'm not predicting anything, but that's just a thought for how you can get more than one Kang without it being in.
I'm going to apologize ahead of time, but you made me think of what it's a Kang bang.
Kang bang. There it is. All right, everybody.
There
It's
we
been
go.
real here at Earth 894.
Oh, we're a Christian podcast. Anyways, Mr. Bro, what do you think? Do you think we're getting any more Kang in this movie?
I think we're going to have to.
Right?
He couldn't disagree with
What if
me
it's a
more.
duck?
I'm sorry. We have to. I know Louis hasn't seen the trailer, but
I have not.
we'll wait till a little later in this episode.
It's okay. You can talk.
Yeah. Take your headset off for
And
a
the
second.
headphones are off.
Ooh. I don't know.
Ooh.
I'm thinking we see a whole bunch of Scott Langs. I mean, hundreds of thousands of them probably.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to see more than one Kang.
Right. I totally agree, because it wouldn't make. I can't imagine a movie where you're going to have this guy who's in a multiverse villain. You only get to see one iteration of him, and when I look at the Marvel plan for Phase 5, especially, and I see all these movies and shows and yada yada, and we know Kang Dynasty is in Phase 6, and then this movie has Kang as the main villain. Well, how are you going to have him introduced in the beginning, but then you don't really see him again until another phase, right? So he's got to show up in other things when you least expect it, or maybe it's clearly evident. Like, who knows? Maybe there's a Kang in Guardians of the Galaxy that's going to pop up somewhere. Maybe it's going to be in Secret Invasion. Kang is a Skrull. Maybe he's a Super Skrull. I don't know. It'd be freaking awesome. Regardless of what Louis says. And he can't hear me right now, so I'm saying it anyways. He's a Skrull. Maybe the ultimate villain. So I don't know, but I totally agree, man. I feel like there has to be another Kang in this movie. Maybe that's going to be a post-credit scene. I saw that there's 2 post-credit scenes.
I think one post-credit scene is going to be a Loki, but I think if we get different versions of Kang, which I agree with Brian, I think we're going to have to. I wonder if we're going to have different versions of him, but maybe it's not quite obvious which versions of him it is. And it's like kind of subtle, and like towards the end of the movie, you're kind of piecing it together and you're like, oh shit, it's like this one, and that one.
That's good theory. Oh, so what made you think we might get a Loki in the post-credit scene?
I mean, I feel like, at least for me, as somebody that's not like super, super into comic books, I see a direct correlation with the way Loki season 1 ended and with Kang. And I know it was He Who Remains, but like breaking into the multiverse and like branching all those timelines off. So I feel like there has to be some sort of connection. And I don't believe we're getting the trailer for Loki on Super Bowl Sunday. So to me, I feel like we're not getting that because there's going to be a post-credit scene at the end of the movie, or we're going to get the trailer in the movie. So I'm just trying to think, like, are we going to get something interesting that's going to pop in? And maybe we get He Who Remains again at the end of the movie as the trailer. I don't know. Because it wouldn't be the first time that Marvel's dropped a trailer-ish at the end of a movie before.
Right. We had the end of Captain America, the First Avenger, had the trailer for Avengers. And then No Way Home had the trailer for Multiverse of Madness. Were those only 2? Or was there a third?
Ooh, I
forgot about
Brian
the Captain America one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of like I'm just thinking of something different that they would do, because like to what Louis said earlier about like kind of with the humor and everything, like They might be trying to bring back some stuff that worked really well before. I just really would like to see a Loki appearance at the end of a movie again. I was really hoping for it in Multiverse of Madness, but I'm thinking that maybe we'll get it in this one.
That's a good theory. I like that. I was still like really stoked when they put that trailer for Multiverse of Madness at the end of No Way Home, because it was like, ooh, I was like, it's a fucking trailer. Oh my god, it's a trailer.
Right.
And it was also great.
Who cares if I gotta pee?
Right. And then when I went to see it again, like I didn't have to wait because I knew it was a trailer, so I didn't have to worry about it again.
Yep.
But that's
exactly.
cool. So Louis has now just rejoined our conversation because he wanted to avoid some spoilers. But where we left off, Louis, and this isn't really anything that's too spoilery, so I don't have to worry. But Ashley brought up a really cool idea of what if, because there is confirmed there's 2 post-credit scenes. But what if one of them is actually a season 2 trailer for Loki? Would you be stoked for that? No.
Loki has nothing to do with Ant-Man. Has Loki ever met Ant-Man?
Has he ever met?
I don't think so.
You know what? That brings up a good idea, though. So we know from Miss Marvel in the show, Ant-Man has a podcast, or he's on a podcast series, whatever, Big Me, Little Me. And they're finding out like random things from Scott Lang, from what's like, what's the scoop on the Avengers lifestyle? Get the big scoop. And that's why people put freaking Ant-Man, Scott Lang in the Battle of New York for I Can Do This All Day, the Steve Rogers musical. So clearly he says some stuff. Now, if you guys had to guess, what are some absurd things that you think Scott has been telling the public that might be addressed in the beginning part of this movie? I definitely think he's going to get in trouble from someone. Someone's going to pay him a visit for like, hey, you shouldn't be saying that stuff when you know it's not the truth or something. And it's going to be Director Fury. I think Fury's going to make an appearance. At the end, maybe it's more prominent, or at the beginning. I don't know. But it's going to be a Skrull Fury.
Do you want variants?
Sounds for you, Louis.
You want variants and Skrulls in this movie?
Damn right I do.
You want this movie to be complete dog water, is what you're telling me.
I mean, hey, stay thirsty, my friends. Got to quench it somehow. Louis, what do you have? If you had to put your money on something Scott has been telling the public,
probably something.
What do you think?
Probably something Captain America. He was on Team Cap for the Civil War. He's probably the one that started the Captain America's on the moon rumor. Did they say who started that?
I don't think they have.
I don't remember. From all that was a long time ago. It seems like something Scott would say, like, "Oh, Captain America's on the moon" or something, and everybody. So, I personally think that Cap is deceased now. He's lived his life, and now he's dead. But everybody's really got the traction on the moon thing. So, I feel like Scott's going to be like, "Oh yeah, Captain America's on the moon." But I don't think Chris Evans is going to make an appearance in this movie to debunk that. But that's my my Mr. Louis' prediction on what Scott's been telling people.
I like that, though, that Scott Lang is the one who started the Captain America's on the moon theory or whatever. I actually think that could be possible. Like that's good. I totally forgot about that. Damn. And I really need to redeem myself for my horrible predictions going 0 for a million for Wakanda Forever. So Louis, I think you might be beating me right now.
I fucking killed it in Wakanda Forever with only one prediction, but still, it was so exciting.
Hey, you and Brian both killed it, man.
It was so exciting when I got that shit right.
How about you, Ashley? What would you have to? What would your guess be? That might be something that Scott Lang is just telling and blah 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 to the public.
I don't really have anything that comes to mind, but I always just kind of think of like his interactions with Falcon, now Captain America. And I could see I don't think our now Sam Wilson Captain America would make an appearance, but to me, I would see him make an appearance before Director Fury.
Anthony Mackie looked like a hard bark.
I mean, we saw, they went toe to toe a little bit in the first Ant-Man movie. So it would kind of make sense if we see him in this a little bit, if he does show up, and probably get some hey, remember that one time let's not talk about that. And that's a little cameo. And I have heard rumblings that there actually are some surprise cameos in this movie that haven't leaked. Or at least I haven't cared to actually try and see leaks.
I saw somebody share a video of something, but I don't know if it's true or not.
Uh-oh. Do. Now, you don't have to say what it is, and I hope you don't say it is. We know you won't say it is.
I won't.
But
Mm-mm.
when you saw it, based off of what you saw or heard, how did that make you feel? Was it a good, or was it like, I'm mad, or was it like a mad because now that's awesome and I want that to be a surprise? Or do you rank it?
Part of it I saw and I was like, this could make a lot of sense. And then the other part, I was kind of like, I don't know about that. And it was a little surprised. So like, there isn't a lot of stuff that goes on in Marvel movies that I'm like, this is fucking terrible. This is trash, outside of like a few Marvel movies.
Eternals.
But yes. Yeah. And Thor Dark World. But I don't know, like with what I saw, I don't know if it's true or not. I think I sent it to Brian. He might know what I'm talking about. But like, I wouldn't hate it, but I also would kind of be like, why are you trying to fit this in this movie?
Because it's Howard the Duck. Come on.
May, Brian. Howard the Duck's going to be back in May. Give it time.
It's gonna be May.
I would see Howard the Duck happening in Guardians before I would see him making an appearance.
May.
But maybe they're jumping quantum realms. He's maybe popping around in one of them and he's just floating around.
He's a scroll.
Thank you, Brian. Exactly where I was going.
These fucking
quack, quack, bitch.
No.
Oh my God, yes. I kind of hope he's a scroll. That'd be so funny.
I don't know what I hate more, the scrolls or the variants.
I'm right there with you.
I totally agree with what you said about No Way Home. That was the only way it worked.
Yeah.
Quack.
Nobody's brought up Wang the Conqueror yet, so that's good. We're good on that front, I guess.
Not yet.
Yeah. Not yet.
Oh, we love Wang the Conqueror, man. Speaking of Wangs and wings and people who are
speaking of Wangs, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
I'll toss it over to you, Brian. What do you got?
Speaking of Wangs, what do you think, Brian?
Wang.
I'm fucking dead. Oh.
Big wangs, little wangs, scroll wangs, variant wangs.
How does a variant wang work? Mic drop.
You wouldn't get it.
Oh my God.
That's a DC reference.
Kevin Feige won't touch that wang with a 10-foot wang.
I should not have had spicy food today. My stomach hurts so bad right now from laughing. Oh my God, that was worth it. Brian, what I was going to ask you was to close off that weird ass question I had about Ant-Man blabbering his mouth. What are some things you think you might have said that is causing some weird fake news in Marvel?
I think you're on the right track there. I think he is going to blab about some stuff, probably some Captain America stuff, probably some, top secret stuff. And Fury is going to be furious and he's going to make an appearance. Maybe he's a Skrull. Maybe he's a variant. Maybe it's actually him. Maybe it's a Wang in disguise. But I could see Fury shutting that down, especially when we see the book tour, whatever it's going to be.
Right.
Big me, little me. And I think there's going to be a lot in that book. We're going to hear a little bit about it. We're going to laugh and Fury's going to shut it down.
I really hope we get Fury. I just want Fury. And that book, because nice, man. That book that we got announced like a week and a half ago. That's a legit book in this movie that we can actually order. It's coming out September 5th, 2023, is Look Out for the Little Guy. It is a Scott Lang story. I honestly, I know this book is a joke, but it's legit. And I'm actually going to get it. And I can't believe I'm getting it, but I am getting it because I want to, I'm feeling a lot of that crazy stuff that I'm searching for is literally going to be in this. It's going to be funny because this is like an in-universe story that we can actually read. So maybe it adds to the canon. It's something new. I don't know. It's $14. I'll buy it. It's cheap. I hope it gets autographed, but it's like the tiniest autograph, Ant-Man sized. So it's really just an ink blot of a misprint. Anyways, that's all good and dandy. But I want to toss it to you guys. Is there anything that we haven't covered before we go into our big, bold prediction section for the movie? Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Quantumania.
I want to talk about MODOK real quick, because the last time we talked, we were talking about the cartoon and how I had started episode 1. I just couldn't get into it. I had to restart. I had to get through all 10 episodes. It was tough, but by about 3 or 4, I was hooked, and that shit was hilarious.
I think I stopped after the second episode. The last episode I remember watching was when he goes back in time to like fix his marriage or whatever. I think that was like maybe within the first 3, maybe. So MODOK, I imagine that claymation version isn't going to be connected to the multiverse, or who knows? We got to see an animated version world or whatever in Multiverse of Madness. Could we get that MODOK into this? Probably not. But you know, MODOK is a card now you get in Marvel Snap. You finish the show on Hulu. We know he's going to be in this movie. MODOK, do you think, Brian, he's going to be a permanent character? Do you think he's a MODOK and going to be no more after this?
I think he can't be a permanent character. I think there's been this buildup. Again, we know who MODOK is going to be, and we've seen little hints here and there. And it's been building and building. We saw it in Loki. And now here it is. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a one and done character. They're going to have to mention AIM, and that's going to take us back to Iron Man 3. So there's going to be probably some flashback, something, his beginning, how he became MODOK, how he's connected to AIM.
True. I always forget about Iron Man 3 had a name, kind of touch point. I mean, everyone loves Iron Man 3.
It's a very forgettable movie.
So I know.
Yeah, I was going to say, I couldn't tell you the last time I watched Iron Man 3.
Every Christmas, y'all. Every Christmas.
No. So first and foremost, I want to say that the Hulu original series MODOK is fucking trash. I was so like, I saw it came out and I love Patton Oswalt, and I was like, I'm going to watch this. And I was like, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes in. And I was like, this is fucking terrible. This is horrible. What? This is nothing. It was like a sitcom. I was like, this has nothing to do with anything. What is happening? So I do want to say, if they do bring in a variant of MODOK as Hulu plus MODOK or whatever, I hope he fucking dies 1,000 deaths. You want me to care about killing a variant of Cassie Lang? I'll care if they kill fucking Clay MODOK over there. Fucker.
Louis out for blood this season, y'all. He's
Oh my God. Brian tried to get me to watch the show, and I was like, the fuck is this?
Yeah. No, thank you.
It's a trip, man.
I'm going to go to Disney World. I'll be back in a few weeks. You fucking watch whatever you want.
Let's go.
So, Brian, if you had to compare it, what is more watchable? Marvel Inhumans or Marvel's MODOK?
Oh, man, don't get me started, because Inhumans is my fucking jam.
Yeah. He loves Inhumans. That's another one I've watched like 10 minutes of.
You just got to get through them. It sucks that they all get canceled, but every show I seem to like gets canceled, so I probably don't have good taste in shows.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, Brian gets me to watch stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's always like really bad, like 80s movies that like is a classic that you just have to watch, but it's just god awful. Like, that's Brian's taste in TV shows sometimes.
I like the classics.
Love you, but
he does like Howard the Duck, so.
Yes.
He did put Thor Love and Thunder in his top Marvel movies in his Thor Love and Thunder preview show.
But then I did retract that.
I didn't see the retraction.
He did.
I retracted that one after the movie came out.
Yeah. I think we all had high hopes for that one.
I love it.
Oh yeah, Louis was over there talking about, well, when I'm doing laundry and ironing shirts and folding things, I'll be having that on in the babut Yeah, I bet you haven't watched it since then.
I've watched it a few times, and I've never ironed a shirt in my life. but
he hasn't ironed, man.
Yeah, I don't even have an iron, man. I have watched it a couple times. I love that movie. I do.
Well, now I need to go because I do have an iron sitting in a box in my closet. Now I need to actually cosplay as Louis, and I'll be ironing a shirt and watching Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, that's fucking badass.
The goat boat.
For those for the audio listeners.
Why don't we have the goat boat?
I even snuck
we did
Homie on
pre-order
there.
that.
No,
Oh,
fucking Target. Oh, badass.
Check it out. Tooth Gnasher and Tooth Grinder doing their thing. Let's fucking go.
Oh my god.
Love that movie.
Good times. Going back to MODOK though, one thing I was thinking about was people give so much shit to Marvel about their CGI lately, and some of it very much rightfully so. Criticism be damned and all that. There are some valid points, but this character in general is a big ass head that floats and is ugly and has tiny little T-Rex arms and legs.
Nothing wrong
It
with
is a
having a
silly
big
looking
head
character.
being ugly. I'm just saying.
You and me both, man. But it's it's a silly character in general. We know a lot of us are clearly big Marvel fans and everything, so we get it. Probably doesn't bother us as much. But for the casual viewers and everything who just kind of go see the stuff, they barely even watch the Disney Plus shows, whatever. They don't even know who Charlie Cox is. Do you think this character might just turn them off and be like, "What is this?" And just do you think he's just too absurd to really be a more prominent character? And that's why he could potentially just get wiped off the slate right away in this movie? Or is it just maybe, like you said, maybe this doesn't fit in the MCU's kind of overall story?
I think it just isn't going to fit in the overall story of the MCU.
Yeah.
They look like they're taking a more serious turn with him. He does he's got the big metal face instead of the big fucking MODOK face. I don't think he's going to hang around because none of the villains hang around really, unless they're like if Eric Killmonger can't hang around, I don't think anybody's hanging out, right? So when I've seen the Funko Pops and I've seen stills from the trailer and everything, and I know he does take that big gold mask off, and I haven't gotten a great look at his face. I'm 98% sure on who it is, but with the mask and everything, and he shoots the laser out of his head, it seems like they're taking a more serious turn on the character to make sure he's not just some fucking big ass headed thing in a chair, just doing his MODOK thing. So I feel like they're fitting it more into the MCU, but I also feel like he's not going to make it out of this movie. That's how I feel.
Ashley, what do you think?
I did a Google. I need to not Google.
You did the one thing. The rules of
Never
Fight Club.
Google by yourself.
I know. O'Brien and I call it goggling. I don't know. I think something that's happened recently with some of the Marvel movies is we'll get some characters that if you don't know who they are. And I feel like MODOK's one of those characters that I personally didn't know who it was until Brian put the TV show on. I'm like, the fuck is this clay thing? What is this? Why do I care who this character is? So I think it will be something that they'll have be a small cameo, but probably won't be any major part of the movie that people like you guys who understand and respect who the characters will be like, oh, this is badass. But for somebody more like me, it's not going to make or break the movie because I don't have there's other characters that I would rather come see make appearances in movies and be like, yes, we finally got them. I'm still waiting on Mephisto after all the WandaVision speculations. I need
Mephisto is coming, everyone. Whether you like it or not, Mephisto is coming. The devil's in the details.
Already been here this whole
time. He's a scroll. It's a
God.
devil scroll. No, that would actually be stupid. I'm not gonna lie. This is the guy who
Now
buys
you
the
think
Wing
it's gonna be
Conqueror.
done.
That's the fucking straw that breaks the camel's back.
Listen, guys, I have morals.
Madison met him.
True.
But it's not where
I think we need a poll around how many scrolls we're gonna get in Secret Invasion.
A ton, but
they're
not going to be characters.
Yeah, but it's how many? Yeah, agreed. How many of them are actually the character to care about? But you know what? I don't care, man. Bring all the scrolls. I want to just fucking give me a popcorn bucket. Scrolls, just diving in there. Dude, I'm so stoked for Secret Invasion. You have no idea, man. We'll do a special episode on that. I will. For our Secret Invasion preview episode, before we dive into it, I will actually make a Loki horn-shaped tinfoil hat that I will wear for my scroll theories. And every episode we do for episode reviews, I will wear that fucking crown, because it's a crown. I will wear it. I will literally make a tinfoil hat. It should not be hard, but I will fuck it up somehow. But yeah, I'm doing it. Just wait.
I'm here for it.
I'm crazy now. It's gonna be great. It's for the content.
All right.
There you go.
You want to dive into the bold predictions to end the episode? What do you think?
I think it's time. We'll save Brian for last because he's got his own theme song. we gotta keep it that way. So how about I be the one? I'll kick us off. My predictions for this movie: Scott Lang will die, but it's going to be a variant. It's not going to be him. It's going to be a variant that dies. I think MODOK will live. We're going to think he dies. And I think the post-credit scene, one of them, is going to be MODOK somehow escaped the quantum realm. And they're setting up for him to actually be part of the 616 universe or just something actually on Earth. And they're going to try and actually bring him into the fold more because we have Miss Marvel, who's technically an Inhuman, but she's a mutant now. And they're setting up for mutants down the road. So maybe they just might swap all that MODOK, AIM, Inhuman story stuff. And they're just going to make all mutants against him. So I think he's going to live. My final prediction, we will get Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga will be in the movie. The Boogeyman.
Baba Yaga. There it is.
Baba Yaga. And there's a scroll. That's it. No, that was just a joke one for funsies. But the real two, I think Scott Lang, a variant, is going to die, and I think it's going to be MODOK that actually makes it out in the universe through that one. Actually, never mind. I'm not going to say it because I forgot it's a trailer thing. But yeah, so that's my predictions. That's my two, and they are bold. So I am most likely going to strike the heck out in this movie.
Those are some bold predictions, my friend.
I mean, if I had to say a safe one, I think we're going to get America's ass referenced by Scott in the beginning of the movie. Kind of like how you brought up the moon, Louis. I think it's going to say like, oh yeah, America's ass. I'm the one who started that.
He was.
That's it. So that's what I got. So who would like to go next?
Let's kick it over to Ashley over there. What do you think?
I don't really have any like big bold predictions. I think we're definitely going to get some variants, and I think we're going to get similar to how in Doctor Strange we had Fantastic Four and all that jazz. I think we're going to get that in this movie. I think some of our normal characters that we've had that have either passed away or not passed away, but have died in our movies, I think we're going to get them as variants from other universes. I feel like a Spider-Man variant would make sense, like if we got Tom Holland, but then I just don't know with all the Sony rights. I do agree. I think an Ant-Man variant could die, but I think that would be pointless. I think we're going to get Yellow Jacket in this one. I think he could make an appearance because I don't remember what happened to him at the end of the first movie. Did he die? I can't remember.
No. I mean, kind of, but it's a thing.
Are you ever really dead?
You can talk to Brian. He'll fill you in on why we're all staring at you. Yeah, but those were good. Those are good predictions. In Yellow Jacket, he's badass. I'll take it from here because I know we're saving it for the big guns down there. How do I fit them in? They're gonna fit in somehow. So you said there's 2 post-credit scenes. So in my mind, the movie ends. Okay, scratch that. Hank Pym is going to die in this movie. They have to kill somebody in every movie because that's just part of their thing. Every movie has someone dies. So in this one, it's going to be Hank Pym. It's going to be freaking Hank Pym. It's going to be him, that guy, Hank Pym, that one. He's going to die.
Wait, Louis, who'd you say was going to die?
Just the real Hank Pym. Will the real Hank Pym
Gotcha.
Please die in this movie? That one.
Thank
I got you. The movie's going to end in a way where, like I said earlier in the movie, where Kang is like, he's got the power or whatever, and Ant-Man's down and out or something, and then, or maybe Ant-Man's like above him, and it's like, wow, you beat freaking Kang the Conqueror, and then you get the maybe 10, 15, 20, 100, 1,000 other fucking Jonathan Majors Kangs, all looking about the same, maybe a little bit different, and it's like, oh my god. And then that's where the movie ends, right? Now we get into the two post-credit scenes. The first one is going to be it's going to be like a flash over to that end scene, and it's going to be like the establish of the Stark Tower becoming the Baxter Building, setting up the Fantastic Four. They're getting set up somehow in this fucking movie. I can feel it in my bones, right? That's my first one. I don't think you're going to see the Fantastic Four. I don't think you're going to anything, but maybe the Baxter Building, maybe I don't fucking even know the Baxter guy's name. He'll be there, maybe being like, we got the shit going on here. Christine Palmer might work there. Who fucking cares? That. My other prediction is the second post-credit scene is going to be our one appearance from Luis, who's telling somebody the whole story of the movie from where Scott had told him what just happened or something, doing his storyteller thing where he's like, blah, 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 doing the whole thing. That would make that movie for me. That would move it up a star rating instead of down a star rating for no Luis at all. So those are my Mr. Luis predictions.
I cannot believe I completely forgot about the potential Fantastic Four tie-in. But Baxter Building. That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Wasn't somebody just talking about that the other day too?
Every day.
Brian?
All day, every day. You know, there was what was his face? The director for Fantastic Four who directed, Matt Shackman, who directed WandaVision too. He someone asked him in an interview recently, like, hey, those four people that are fantastic, who are they? He said something along the lines of like, oh, we haven't even like really done that part yet, but I'm curious, who would you want to see? Or blah, 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 blah. Or no, what did he say? I think he said something along the lines of, all the rumors I've seen out there aren't true. We've seen John Krasinski. We've seen Diego Luna. We've seen Adam Driver. We've seen, I don't know, everyone and their mother who has like a weird blackish, brownish haircut line for Reed Richards. He said none of them are true. You know, take that with a very tiny, tiny, tiny quantum-sized grain of salt. But
Penn Badgley.
If we get an actual cameo from any of the Fantastic people, I'll be stoked.
Maybe the Thing. That would be fucking sick.
Thang and the Wang.
Who do you guys think is going to play the Thing?
We had that rumor Jason Segel was supposed to be the Thing and showing up in She-Hulk. I don't know where the hell that rumor came from. It was tracking for a while. Maybe they pulled it. I don't know. They pulled that thing out. I don't know. But I kind of like the idea of Jason Segel in the MCU just in general. And I think it'd be funny. I think he could do like a really good Thing voice. You know, just kind of like an airheady dumb guy.
It's chlorine time.
But only if he says, I've been watching Shrinking on Apple TV. Very good show. I'd recommend. But if you've seen anything, How I Met Your Mother, I apologize for the tangent, but he goes like, hello. He says that a couple times in the show too, just like Marshall does. I just want to hear the Thing going, hello. Chlorine time. Anyways. Apologize. Ashley, what was your question again?
Who's gonna play the Thing?
That's right. Yeah, I think Jason Segel.
All right. The moment I've all been waiting for. Hit the track, Devin.
It's time for a Mr. Marvel's Minutes prediction.
Because we didn't think of it? To see all the possible outcomes.
How many did you see?
14,605. I know it all.
Does he know it all?
Oh, I know it all. And Louis, you might want to take your headset off for this one and not listen to this episode for another week.
I will ask you a question after you're done though, because there's something that we didn't mention at all, and I'm going to see if you mentioned it during this time.
All right, Brian. Headphones off. Let it rip.
All right. So to Ashley's point right there, we are seeing Yellow Jacket. We know that. Darren Cross is MODOK. We've seen his helmet in Loki. We know that he got big, he got small, he got sucked into the quantum realm. Now, onto the quantum realm, I am going Rick and Morty on this bitch because we saw thousands and thousands, again, of Scott Langs. So it can only mean one thing. In this multiverse, crazy shit is going down. We know Lord Kryler, Bill Murray is Lord Kryler, however you fucking pronounce his name. And he makes you hallucinate and see some crazy shit. And I think that's that whole dripping of Scott Lang and going through the little bleeps and blops, whatever you want to call it. That shit's going to be crazy. But I don't think any pivotal character is going to die. We know what we saw in the trailer. Scott Lang and Kang are going head to head. Kang wants to get out. Now, why is he in the quantum realm? Why can't he get out? Because we're, again, Rick and Morty this shit. The Council of Motherfucking Kangs. They will appear. They will tell you why he's in there. And that's why Kang will fucking die in this movie. You can't have a big bad right at the beginning of a new phase. You can't. There's no possible way.
Interesting. So let's backtrack off that. That's a good one. So the Council of Kang. Now, the one little hint we got from Loki, the show, was He Remains saying, like, if you kill me, they're like more of me are going to come and they're going to be, not good people. So if there's a Council of Kang who are the ones trying to keep this Kang out of that thing, but then he dies. Well, so do you feel like it's like a power vacuum that opened up? Like now their biggest threat is gone, and now they're gonna try and like Game of Thrones this shit a bit, where they're all gonna try and take one other out, or
I think they're just gonna keep on coming, and that's gonna lead us into Loki season 2, where we know there is another place wherever they are in the time, the TVA, wherever that takes place. It clearly isn't the quantum realm. So there's another Kang already on the TVA side running shit. Now there's a Kang trapped in the quantum realm. He Who Remains is now dead. So we've got at least 3 Kangs already, talked about, but there's got to be more and more and more and more. Because that was the whole premise of He Who Remains, is that he was able to fight off and trap them from coming into this area.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always a higher power.
Interesting. And his name was John Cena. No, I really like that, because like I never thought about it until you kind of mentioned it with your theory here. Like, what if our big bad is literally being fought off by himself too? So they almost have to like team up with like, I imagine like the Avengers haven't actually teamed up with all these other Kangs to take out themselves, kind of thing. But I don't know. I want to see a lot of double crossing and triple crossing. It feels like they're doing like crisscross applesauce, and then bam, you dead, you dusted. So you don't know who to trust. Which is kind of the theme of Secret Invasion.
Well, I think that's what MODOK plays that part. Is we are thinking he is going to be this bad guy, but we've seen his face. We know that's Darren Cross. He hates the Pym family. He hates Scott Lang. But I think he's going to redeem himself in this movie and then die.
I could see that. Mm-hmm. I think it goes back to my original thought of like getting the different Kangs and doing different like personalities with all like the backstabbing that's going on. Is like maybe one version of Kang is actually working with Scott for some weird reason, but like a different version's like trying to double cross him. And there's I feel like there's going to be a lot of like really having to pay attention and read between the lines in this movie.
Yeah, and that's why I'm most excited for this movie too, is just because the fact that we are getting a bit of a deviant to get it, of what's actually going on from. I mean, we're deviating from being the very humorous, like palate cleansing movie. And if they really want us to pay attention, to like think between the lines and stuff, that's even cooler because it's just like this is the opportunity for Marvel really to show Phase 5 ain't a joke, guys. We're really showing you the through line. It's very, very gonna be like thin, and then bam, splits off that way, splits off tails this way, just like we saw with the TVA and the chaos that happens with the split timelines for incursions, because we gotta know incursions are coming because we're getting secret wars. So I'm excited.
Phase 5 ain't nothing to fuck with.
So let's bring Louis back in here and just see what he says.
Yeah, and that's how Wolverine dies. It's crazy. Oh, Louis!
He's gonna kill you.
Sorry, we played the spoiler alert, Lou, and I guess you didn't hear it. We're teasing. But we had some really good prediction discussion based off of what Brian was saying here. But Brian, I'll let Louis in a little secret here. You didn't have any Howard the Duck in your prediction.
No, because he's a Skrull.
Howard the Duck's coming in Guardians of the Galaxy in May, okay?
I believe that. I believe he could come in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He'll be there.
But we do need a Skrull in this movie. We have to have a Skrull.
Do we?
We really do.
Yeah, we do.
Have to.
Why?
Just leading up into Phase 5.
Because why
Save
not?
the Skrulls for the Marvels in July or whenever.
Yeah, that would make more sense. Like Fury coming in the Marvels makes way more sense than him coming at the beginning of this movie.
He's always coming in the Marvels.
Oh my god. Yes. Thank you.
I have to ask, without giving too much away, was Brian's prediction about Shang-Chi? We haven't talked about Shang-Chi at all, and I feel like his rings in the the still of the trailer I saw had the rings going around Kang, standing in the middle, doing the whole thing. And they were very 10 rings looking things. Do you think we get a Shang-Chi reference or a Shang-Chi appearance or a Shang-Chi anything in this movie?
Still kind of hit or miss on that. I think the rings and even the gauntlet from, Miss Marvel, they've got to relate somehow to Kang. But I don't think it's this Kang.
So you're saying the rings have to do with Kang, just not the one we're seeing in this movie.
There's I don't want to ruin the trailer, but there is a fight scene that looks like somebody's using some sort of ring powder that's coming out of their hands in a way, off their wrists.
Spider-Man.
Like a Rama Tut kind of thing. You know who Rama Tut is, I assume.
I know King Tut. Are they related?
Rama Tut was one of the first Kang the Conquerors, correct? Yeah. He was like a pharaoh back in the fucking ancient Egypt or whatever. Rama Tut. That would be cool. That kind of 10 rings go with Rama Tut kind of thing. That'd be badass. But
so,
I did have to ask.
Because you said that. Could that tie into eventually Moon Knight too? Because if that's Egyptian, or is that a stretch?
I mean, we might see Bao.
Bao the god?
I'm sorry.
The god from Thor Love and Thunder? Let's fucking
the dumpling
go.
god.
The Bao god.
Yeah, Bao.
I'll take that.
I want that as like a little stuffed animal to just put somewhere in my house.
Want that.
Yeah, so do I. So I can put it in the fucking fireplace.
I just want that filled with pork and cabbage in my fucking mouth right now.
And you got
throw that shit in the trash.
Ninny Nanu or whatever, Ninny Nanny. He's got scissors. He can cut it up.
What are you trying to run away from me? You can't catch me. I'm sorry, but Bao is the stupidest fucking thing in MCU. That is the stupidest thing.
It was very odd. All right,
stupid.
I had a thought.
Very stupid is what I call it. Odd and stupid. Stupid. I'm sorry if anyone likes it. It was funny, but no, it was fucking stupid. I'm sorry.
All right, so we were talking about 10 rings, and I think we're going to get some variants in this movie. What if because the first time we learned really about the 10 rings and the reference to it, even if it was a joke, was in Iron Man 3. Do we think, what is this gang shit you're doing over there?
Iron Man 3,
Stop.
AIM, MODOK, done.
Hang on. I'm not done yet.
The 10 rings were in Iron Man 1.
Were they?
No,
yeah,
they were the terrorist
in
group.
1.
They were the terrorist group that kidnapped Tony Stark and made him build us in a cave.
But in 3, we really got the idea of the 10 rings and who they were and who they were led by. Although it was
All right. It was kind of a joke. What if, to Brian's point of what he said about somebody using them, what if we have an Iron Man variant that comes into play?
So many Iron Man variants.
Tom Cruise!
Oh. I swear to God, no.
Superior
I
Iron Man.
He is superior.
I'm just wondering. Because I feel like if Shang-Chi was going to make an appearance in this movie, I feel like there'd be a little bit more traction around that. But I feel like if we were to get like an Iron Man, I don't really think people would think of that coming.
Do you guys remember that? You know, that's a good point though. But do you remember that video? I don't want to say we did because I stole it from a guy's TikTok and I tried to stitch it ghetto wise. Simu Liu was spotted at Disneyland, I think, earlier in the fall last year. And someone was like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He's like, "Oh hey." He's like, "Hey, can't wait to see you in Ant-Man." Or he's like, "Can't wait to see you in spring." And he's like, "Oh yeah.
Can't wait to see you in Ant-Man."
Like,
he's like, "Okay."
Yeah. It's like, "Oh yeah." He was like laughing like, duh. Like, it's like, oh, was it just a happenstance? Like, oh, he's like, "Oh yeah, I had no idea what the guy had said, but whatever." Or are you right? Could he be showing up? I think it'd be a cool cameo, but also
I think it would be a good cameo.
Yeah, you're trying to say if Shang-Chi is in this movie, you feel like it would have been like the public probably would have found out by now, right? Is that what you're trying to
I think
allude
so.
to?
I mean, like, I think of when we all knew going into seeing No Way Home that we were going to get the other Spider-Man.
We didn't.
We all knew this. But we didn't know, but we all were like, we better fucking get this.
Right.
Yes. And I feel like if we were going to get Shang-Chi, there would be something that would allude to it because he's a current character that we're going to continue to see for a little while, where there would make a little hint. Like I remember I remember watching the trailer for Multiverse of Madness with Mr. Marvel a bajillion fucking times on the TV and stopping it every 2 seconds to look at stuff. And I think there was a point where we thought we were going to get an Iron Man variant, but I think it was somebody else who I can't remember. Where I feel like with this time, if we were to get a Shang-Chi, you would see a little bit of it because everybody would be like, "Oh, fuck yeah, he's going to be in this." But they wouldn't show anything if we were going to get an Iron Man variant because then everybody would be like, "Oh my God, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back."
I see your point.
I don't want to be that guy, but I do have to bring it up.
You can be that guy.
I really had no idea that Michael B. Jordan was going to be in Wakanda Forever until our prediction show when Devin or Bryant, somebody said, "Yeah, I think that he's going to be the one that she sees in the astroplane or wherever the fuck they go." And I was like, "Holy shit, that would be awesome." It wasn't even on my radar. So I think they could sneak people into movies willy-nilly, you know, especially if it's like a big deal. I think they could sneak them in easier than like Devin saw Melissa McCarthy playing Hela and Thor: Love and Thunder. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that's hard to
like a year ahead of time.
They can spoil that, but if it's like a really big deal, they can slide it in there pretty well. So that's
But I mean, also look, we're out of New York. We're in California with Ant-Man. Shang-Chi in California.
Yeah, right.
That's true. Yeah,
they're
She-Hulk
San Francisco,
is out there. So there could be a lot of little cameos, maybe at this big book signing or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
I forgot about She-Hulk.
There's going to be definitely some big cameos to kick off Phase 5.
I like what you're saying about it, the premiere thing. I could definitely see some different people there.
Bunch of scrolls.
I didn't think about that. Oh my God. We're going to have a scroll jar and everybody's going to have to put $1 in it anytime they think somebody's going to be a scroll in a movie.
Well,
and then I'm going to take that money and go to Disney.
Well, a good thing you got that popcorn bucket because it's going to get full of dollars. All right, here's my last funny question we could do because we know we're close on time here. If there's that, we know there's a red carpet. If it's a movie, whatever it is in this movie, who is your guess on our cameo we see on the red carpet? Probably an Avenger or whoever. Who would you want to put your money down on? Start with you, Lou. Who do you think?
I don't know. If it's just a red, I would think Scott would be on the red carpet. He's the one like promoting himself and trying to be.
Oh, I know he's there, but I'm saying cameo wise.
Oh my God. I don't know. Fuck.
We'll come back to you. It was a surprise.
Like Kevin Smith will be on the fucking red carpet. He likes superheroes and he's popular. He doesn't strike me as red carpet though.
I'd shit my pants if he shows up.
No, he's not an Ant-Man guy per se.
He's a Marvel guy. See, I was thinking not like celebrity. I'm just talking about like actual like Avengers.
Like people from the.
We think who might show up.
I don't see Avengers being red carpet people. They're not like the boys or anything. Or the Seven, rather. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. Nobody strikes me as a being an Avenger to be on a red carpet. You know, like Hawkeye hated the musical, and Tony's dead, and Steve's on the moon, and Wanda's a bad guy, and she's dead, kind of. And who else? Fucking Falcon. She never died. Falcon doesn't.
I think it could be Bruce.
Maybe. I don't.
Bruce would be cool.
I don't know. That's not a question for me. I have no fucking like Kanye. No, Kanye's blackballed.
No.
So Kanye, Kevin Smith, and Bruce walk into a bar.
Let's go with fucking. I don't know. Pass.
I appreciate it, man. That was funny. How about you, Ashley? Who do you think is going to go on the red carpet or shows up?
I mean, I could see Bruce. Like, I'm thinking of like who was close with Ant-Man, and I agree. I don't think we're going to get Sam Wilson in this one, especially now with him being Captain America. I feel like he's very like high profile. I think it could be Bruce because he's very like humble and open, and like I just think of the scene of them at the Waffle House in Endgame of him talking to the kids and like very like personable with people. So I feel like he might be somebody that would want to walk the red carpet and be like, hey, blah, blah, blah. I have an ice cream flavor named after me and all that kind of crap. I would see him. I don't think She-Hulk would be there because she's not like high profile enough in my opinion for that. I don't think it would be Moon Knight. Although I actually really love that show. So I would like to see Moon Knight again. I like that show. And I like Oscar Isaac. I'm gonna go with Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner it is.
But I also feel like we could get just some like regular, like general celebrities that would be there, like given like Ocean's 8, Ocean's 11 vibes, where you just have them as like cameos in the movie.
Ah, interesting.
Sandra Bullock.
Ooh. I vibe with that.
There you go. There's Louis' prediction too.
I want Kevin Feige walking the red carpet. That's what I want.
That'd be pretty cool.
I really thought we were going to get him in She-Hulk for a minute when she was like, where's Kevin? I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
How about you, Mr. Marvel? What do you got?
I actually like the idea of She-Hulk walking that red carpet, all She-Hulked out.
Yeah, that could work.
I mean, she is a superhuman lawyer, and she could be representing Scott Lang. I mean, he's got a pretty tainted past.
People suing him for defamation of all of his big, bold not predictions, but all the things he's saying. Yeah, that makes sense, I think.
Or to your tie-in with Fantastic Four and thinking red carpet strutting type of person, Victor Von Doom.
There it is, man. I hope we get Doom.
And it's more like he's just trying to, get Scott's attention and talk to him about this, shrinking and bigging and quantum realm stuff and time travel. And they brush him off. And then he gets real pissed.
Yeah, before he's all ugly and doomed, right?
Mhm.
Like handsome Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
Henry.
I mean, he's a red carpet kind of dude right there.
Henry Cavill out there strutting around. Cillian Murphy, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who do you think would play him?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig. He's so
No.
old.
I think Daniel Craig is for sure going to be Bold of the Brave. After that Josh Horowitz interview that came out on the podcast, 100%. They were going to put him in Multiverse of Madness. It got scrapped.
Yeah.
I think because of COVID, but I think he's coming. Whenever Hercules shows up again, I think that's when they're going to show Boulder the Brave.
More like Jerkules.
Which I'm stoked for. Jerkules. Doom. Louis and I talked about this on another episode because we saw the latest rumor at the time was Adam Driver being in the running for Mr. Fantastic. But we both kind of feel Doom would be better.
Yeah.
Which I kind of get.
He's more of a villain character.
But then I agree.
Yes, I heard that episode. Brian was playing it one day when we were working from home.
Oh, so we did release it.
You
Sorry,
released
guys.
something because you said something about Penn Badgley and you were talking about the stuff that he's been in, and you guys said Gossip Girl, and I'm rewatching Gossip Girl, and
There you
Brian and I
go.
had like a funny interaction about it. But I
So
don't
there it
think
is.
Penn Badgley should be in it either.
Is he the guy from You?
Yeah.
Is he that
Yeah,
guy?
he's the lead guy.
That's him.
The serial killer or whatever.
New
it is.
episodes out today.
Right. But, I will say, though, because we know sometimes Reed is, he's smart, but sometimes he's too smart for his own good and he can be a dick and whatever.
Yeah, tell her Black
And I
Bolt.
think it'd be kind of actually, I think Adam Driver could actually do that. But I think the reason why I would be all right if he was Reed instead of Doom is because it would be kind of nice to actually see Driver not as a villain again. Because I feel like people might just see him too much as Kylo Ren and be like, oh, it's just Kylo Ren behind another mask again. But, I mean, they are different characters. And Doom is much more a threat than Kylo Ren is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because then you don't want him to get like typecasted as only being able to play a certain character or like a certain type of persona.
Right. And he knows how to act really well with his face.
Yeah, he does have good facial. He's not one of my favorite actors. I for me personally, I would love to see John Krasinski be Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four, but I just don't think that that's going to happen.
Too
I was
old.
really hoping it was going to be like him and Emily Blunt, but yeah, I agree.
Right. I was hoping he was going to direct Fantastic Four. I thought that would have been cool.
Yeah, me too. I think Chris Evans should come back and play the Human Torch because I think that would be hysterical.
I wouldn't be surprised if that happens for Secret Wars.
Variant. He's going to be a variant. He's going to be a
Right, yeah.
scroll variant of the Human Torch.
I just need Chris Evans to come as a variant as Captain America and the Human Torch in like the same movie and just have it be like really
Captain
funny.
America on fire because he's a variant.
Well, then you got to throw Michael B.
America's
Jordan in there.
ass.
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
Michael
go.
B. Jordan.
Is Killmonger on fire is a variant. Look, there we go. I said,
Oh, that's
my
right, because
God.
Miles Teller played it in the last
I
one.
want-
That was such a bad
I want
movie.
Miles
God.
Teller to be Victor Von Doom.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
I can go
He's
more
been
with
very
that.
popular recently after Top Gun.
He's a good looking guy. He's a fucking great actor. It's not his fault that movie sucked
He
balls.
really is.
And also, I feel like
Oh, I liked the new Top Gun.
Fan Four Stick.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that's
Brian fell asleep.
I feel like that's the perfect like comeback story. He was Reed Richards in Fan Four Stick. That movie was garbage, and now he's Victor Von Doom in the MCU, just like fucking killing it. I think that would be awesome. But
I dig it.
I don't get what I want, so he's gonna keep being mustache guy on Top Gun.
Victor Von Doom, but with a mustache.
Mustache.
That'd be funny. Well, I think that just about does it. I mean, we're almost at 2 hours here, so that's been the show, guys. I mean, there's a lot we talked about, a lot that we did not talk about, so we don't really spoil too much that's shown in the plot, the trailers and everything. But if you want more of a little bit of an in-depth and some little predictions here and there, Brian and I did do a fun Instagram live at the time of the second trailer dropping. Was it even this year? I forget. Or was it very, very end of 2022? Either way, it's in the podcast feed. It was this year. Thank you. So you can go check it out and listen to that and see what we had to say. Because it had some fun trailer breakdowns. And I think we dived a little bit more into the Shang-Chi side of things too with the rings. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and be sure to send us your predictions either by emailing us, eartha94podcast@gmail.com, or just send us a message on literally anything, including Napster, MySpace,
Slack. Check out our Slack.
Don't forget to check them out on LimeWire.
LimeWire. Yep, we have no Trojan horses here.
And where can we find you guys?
You can find me, Mr. Marvel's Minutes, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you name it, it's there. And make sure you check out my full spoiler review in 2 weeks on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
And how about you, Ashley?
You can find me on Instagram or TikTok at AshleysSpookyCastle.
There you go. And if you are too lazy to do any of that, literally like we always do, just check the damn show notes, guys. It's all right there. Links and all. Save you the time. Well, great, guys. This has been an awesome discussion. We don't have any shout outs to do this week because we haven't done trivia for a long time because
I suck.
No, someone...
I fucking suck.
No. We've both been very, very busy. It's been, wow, work.
It's been.
And life and it's been busy as shit is the theme of this episode. But we'll have more of that coming soon, so stay engaged with us. We're having a great time. That being said, that's been the episode. So we will see you guys after the movie, and be on the lookout for when we do the full spoiler discussion. You guys will probably be back. Brian and Ashley, welcome to have you guys on again. And find out how right or wrong some of us or all of us, or maybe just this guy with one thumb pointing up and hoping we get scrolls. Maybe I'll be wrong as shit again. So we will find out. It's been a blast. So see you guys next time. Bye.
How does a variant wang work?
Welcome to BreezeLine, where the sky's the limit thanks to better internet. With lightning fast speeds up to 1 gig, you can game like a boss, stream like a pro, and watch like there's no tomorrow. Stream, watch, post, send, and trend. Do it all with our fiber-powered network, bringing you reliable, fast internet. Welcome to BreezeLine. Visit breezeline.com for latest offers. Service subject to availability. New customers in select areas only. Visit breezeline.com for details.
The Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. It's electrified. So you can boogie woogie woogie into the forest. Boogie woogie woogie through the mud. Or boogie woogie woogie to work, where you boogie woogie woogie down the hall to your boss's office to tell him you quit. Sure got the boogie. Then you boogie woogie woogie to the elevator as he boogie woogie woogies after you, begging, please, take me with you. Boogie. The electrified Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE. Learn more at Jeep.com. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.